Hey guitar players, in this lesson I'm going to be talking to you about how to clean up your playing. This is a question that I get asked about all the time, and I just want to give you a couple of really quick tips that will sort this out. So let's imagine that you're playing kind of modern rock lead guitar. You've got distortion on. That's the thing where you're probably going to struggle with cleaning up your playing the most, with that kind of hard rock, high gain tones and all that sort of thing. So one of the things that you want to be able to do, I would imagine, is you want to be able to play your fast kind of licks. But you don't want to hear a whole load of background noise like this stuff. No, so the question is, how do you clean it up? Well, let's talk about this in a legato context. And I'm playing like modern rock, hard rock style legato. That's kind of my juice when I'm doing this sort of thing. But there's lots of other people out there that will play lots of different styles and all of them sorts of things. But this is what works for me, playing a hard rock style and all of that sort of thing. So if I'm playing an example like this, very common of like, Van Halen or Paul Gilbert, possibly a bit of Joe Satriani, those kind of players. They are my sort of influences. If I'm playing that kind of idea, here's how I'll clean it up. First things first, my first finger is stubbing up to my B string. So if I pick the B string here, it's being muted by that first finger. So I can just take my right hand or my picking hand away, and it's still pretty much like the fretting hand is doing the job of cleaning that up. So that's the first thing. The next thing is I'm using this part of my picking hand to lay against near the bridge saddles on my guitar, like around about here. So I'm not going too far along. If you're just sitting on the actual bridge saddles, you're not going to be making any contact with the strings. You're not going to be cleaning anything up. So this is similar to when you do palm muting and that sort of stuff. So if you've got your hand sitting there, if I now go, the strings are now being muted. So as I fret, we've got a nice clean bunch of notes on my high E string. So I take this sort of thing even one step further, and what I will do with something like this, if I possibly can, like if I was playing a single string, what I'm doing with my plectrum here, this is the important thing to see. I've got my plectrum underneath my B string, and I'm sort of hooking it underneath the B string and pulling the B string slightly out of the way. It creates a tiny little bit of room between the high E string and the B string. So if I'm playing like lines that move along the length of a string like that, I can keep everything muted with the right hand and with the plectrum hooking underneath the B string there. Now let's talk about if I was doing something similar but maybe on the G string. So I'm still keeping to what my first finger was doing there when I was playing earlier, but I've got my first finger stubbing up to the underside of the D string now, muting that one, and also this part of my finger here is just laying flat across my B string and high E string. So if I pick those, you can't hear anything now. So I've got the D string muted, and I've got the B string and high E string all muted with that first finger. Obviously I can't mute those strings there. So what I would do is I'll bring the right hand back in and put that on the strings here near the bridge saddles to keep that muted. Now because I know that I'm going to play ideas that move along the length of the string, once I've picked my string, I'm playing pretty much legato here, using hammers, pull-offs, that stuff. I'm using my second and third finger to actually lay against the B and high E string. So as I'm doing that, like, as I'm strumming all the strings there, the only string that can possibly ring is my G string. You could do that, like, you know, I'm just playing a load of nonsense, but you just play any old stuff all day long and it will stay completely clean. So that's one of the things that I would do with legato and all that sort of stuff. There's loads more other ideas of what I might do if I was using alternate picking or sweep picking and stuff like that. If you want to learn more about those things first, check out my online learning platform, Cutting Edge Guitar. The links are in the description, where there is tons and tons of tutorials all about that sort of thing. Also, what you'll find when you go there is some newly updated versions of my books, which are all about technique. They're all in digital format now, and they have MP3, Guitar Pro, PDF downloads just of exercises. If you don't like reading, you can just see the exercises alone. And I've also put loads of video tutorials and everything with those as well. So all of the links for all of that stuff are in the description. You can go and get them or check them out. And make sure you subscribe to the channel so that when I do another lesson like this, you'll get to see it straight away. Okay, thanks very much for watching, guys. I'll see you in another video sometime soon. Cheers.